Hey everyone, welcome. It's Lauren from Beautiful Mesh. Alright, we're going to make a beach wreath today, which I make a lot of beach wreaths, but we are going to make one. Let's see. So I can see your comments. Yay! Okay, hopefully this works. Alright, this is what we got for today. And that I actually got from Craft Outlet. So if you're wanting to get one, put it aside for now. And this is the ribbon that I've chosen so far. Haven't decided which anchor one I'm going to use. We'll figure that out. Okay. And let's get started. Put those aside. Can y'all hear me? Hopefully. Because I have my new air conditioner and it's very loud and it's right above me, but the microphone is here, so I'm hoping it'd be okay. Happy Easter to you guys. While my son's napping and we're not cooking dinner quite yet, I thought I'd just go live real quick and make this beach one. You can see how quick and easy it is. Like, probably when I do these, probably only takes me like 30 minutes. Probably take me longer because I'm talking, but hey Melissa. Okay. Let me do one thing. So I make a ton of beach wreaths in my shop. Oh, that's not where I want it to go. There we go. And part of the reason is, well, I live near the beach. But it's a nice quick seller in my Etsy shop. Good, I'm glad you can hear me. Hey Carlene, hey Lorraine. So I was having a talk with my Etsy group the other day, and I was telling them all about creating multiples versus one-of-a-kind items. So I'm curious, you guys that are watching, if you have an Etsy shop, do you create anything that's like a multiple, or do you only create things that are one-of-a-kind? This is going to be sort of one-of-a-kind. However, it's in a whole group of beach stuff, which is pretty similar. We're going to go with a pretty similar recipe to all the other ones that I've done, and it might just have a different sign and a slightly different ribbon, but for the most part we are going with a very similar system. And so if you have an Etsy shop, did you know, if you think about it, on Etsy you can sell vintage items, you can sell handmade items, you can sell supply items. Those are the three main categories of things that you can sell on Etsy. And obviously supply is usually like a multiple, like people have a bunch of, something that they're not really going to sell so many like ones and twos of supplies. Vintage, however, is almost always like a one-of-a-kind thing, right? Somebody buys an antique or whatnot. Handmade, on the other hand, could go both ways. Even though it's Etsy, there are ways to do one-of-a-kind, and there's also ways to do multiple. And if you realize that in actuality, selling one-of-a-kind handmade items on Etsy is the hardest way to get on Etsy. The hardest way to get traction on Etsy and the hardest way to sell. So if you have been selling one-of-a-kind items on Etsy, one-of-a-kind handmade items, and you're having a hard time getting traction, or whatever, you know what? You're not alone. It's the hardest way to play the Etsy game because of the way Etsy treats items that have sold and the way that their algorithm works to bump up items that have sold over and over versus, you know, one and dones. Because the way Etsy works is it obviously it's a marketplace. It's taking fees from you to sell your products. So they're going to push the ones that they know are going to sell, that have a good track record already. So that's the huge advantage. So that's why I sell tons of beach wreaths. I mean, it got started and it just hasn't stopped. After like the first one sold, and then it relisted, and then another one sold, and then another one sold, and now it sort of runs by itself. I don't do a lot of lives anymore. It's a little bit harder now, obviously. I've got a lot of other things going, and I don't do them. I just let Etsy really do it for me because of the track record. So that's why, really, it just runs by itself. And, they're coming up on Google now in like the top spots of Google. So that's been helpful with offsite ads and whatnot. So, let's see. Beautiful beachy pics delivered today. I don't have a lot of beachy pics. I have a lot of like beachy ribbon. I got a lot of shells. I have, I don't really have a whole lot of like beachy flowers or pics or anything. I need to look for some. Linda just sold a beach wreath today. Awesome. Yeah, I sold one yesterday. So it's like, I'm going to make another one. Carlene, it's okay if you don't have the exact supplies. That's always a common question people ask me is like, well, what if I don't have, the same thing to repeat? Or what if my stuff gets sold out or discontinued? Do you know how many times that has happened to me? Like, it is so annoying when that happens. And it happens all the time. But the good thing is customers don't pay so much attention to like if you have, I'm trying to see if I have something that's similar. I don't have anything right here within reach that's similar, but if you had two ribbons of the same color, but you just had a slightly different pattern, 99% of the time, that's fine. You're keeping with the same aesthetic, you're keeping with the same color scheme, you're keeping, you're not going to replace it with a different color, you're not going to replace it with even a different size. I wouldn't replace it with a different size. I wouldn't replace it with, like something, if you're going rustic and then all of a sudden you replace it with like something glittery, like you're not going to do that. So if it's just like you're going from a polka dot to a chevron or whatever pattern, it's fine. People don't get hung up so much in the exact patterns on the ribbon or whatever. Signs, yes, you need to make sure that that's the same. Basic overall look, yes, has to be the same. Has to be pretty subtle changes, but it happens all the time and you just make small adjustments. And I've never had anybody complain because I'm not going wildly off track. Hey, Megan. Okay, let's see. Your shop if you add items to your shop individually, consistently, or list groups of items at once. So, actually, Amy, it helps if you do them at individually. There's a couple reasons for that. One reason is that, sorry, I can't talk. Sometimes I can't like chew bubble gum and talk at the same time. One reason is that if somebody favorites your shop or items, and then you list new items, they will get a notification on their dashboard from Etsy that you've listed something new. And so if you only do that, if you list them all in one day, they'll only get one notification. Y'all know there's little notifications. Like, do you get annoyed by those, on your phone? Well, they happen on Etsy too. When you go to your dashboard and it'll tell you who's who's added something new, or who's I don't know if they show you sales there. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, so they'll only get notified one time if you list everything at once. If you can do it like every couple of days or whatever, then they'll be notified each time. These are just 10-inch mesh. I'm cutting 10 inches wide, just so you don't know. But the other reason is that Etsy really likes you to be using their platform. Just like all the others, they want you to be on their platform. They're selfish, you know, call them selfish, call them, you know, narcissistic, whatever, you know, but they want you to be on their platform using it, not something else. So if you are constantly listing something and you're like, you know, every couple of days you're on there and you're like, you know, you're doing something on their platform and you're adding something new to their market, they like that a little bit better, and they will tend to sort of favor your shop if you're relevant, you know, because you have to be relevant. If you like put a whole bunch of stuff in your shop and then you just let it sit and you don't really come back to it or pay attention to it or make tweaks or add new stuff or anything, nothing's like moving, it's just real stale. It's, you know, Etsy's not going to favor that as much. So if you're if you're using it and you're adding, just like when I find that if I don't ship for a while, and like I used to just not I used to kind of like let everything sit till the end of the week and then shipped everything at once. But I found that when I was doing that, in the in-between times, my shop was real slow. And there's no evidence, except for my anecdotal evidence, that this is the case. But, you know, every time I ship something or ship a bunch of things, you know, if I'm doing that constantly throughout the week, I'm constantly getting orders throughout the week. Because Etsy knows I'm actually fulfilling those orders. I am, you know, keeping up with my end of the bargain. You know, I'm making the stuff. And so anyway, yeah, they really like it if you can be present and not just like throw a whole bunch of stuff there and like hope that it sells. I have so much mesh everywhere. Hey Michelle, it has been a minute. Thank you. All right. Yes, I hope you guys are having a good Easter. We had an Easter egg hunt this morning. Well, my son did. I somehow ended up with like a whole bunch of Easter eggs, and we were like, just fill them all. There was probably like 75 eggs. I don't even know how many there were. There was a whole lot of them, but I mean, you put one thing in each egg and he's happy. So that kept him busy for a while. Okay, so I just put 4 for now, because I think that's gonna work fine with all the ribbon we're gonna put on here and everything else. Okay, let's see. Hi Linda. Thank you, Tina. Alright, so I can't decide with this ribbon. This one is glittery in the polka dots. So I don't know if I want to use that sparkly or that. I'm not sure. Let's get some of these open. Hi, Rita. So again, this is just following pretty much the same or similar formula of everything that's in my shop as far as beach wreaths. Because once you get like a tried and true formula, why mess with it? Okay, I'm just gonna cut these. I'm actually only I don't know if I'm gonna cut them 12 or 13. Sometimes they get unruly on 12 or on 13. 60-inch screen, that's rather large, Joni. I don't think I'd put on enough makeup for a 60-inch screen today. That's crazy town. I need to figure out how to do that so that I could be, because I have a little TV up here, but I always end up, I don't know how to watch lives on there. I know how to watch them, I know how to watch TV. I can watch lives here, but I don't know how to get the lives up there. I gotta figure that out. I need like Apple TV probably or something, which I don't have. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna use 12 inches. I waffle between 12 and 13-inch ribbon. Alright, hold on. I'm trying to think of how many I want to use here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Do I want to do that many? Yeah. I'm going to do 9. So we are varying a little bit from the normal formula, but it's okay. See this? Both of my, everything I have is like dying. All my devices, because I use them so much being home. And I'm not plugging them in. Faith is watching on a 55-inch screen. Y'all need to teach me how to do that. What do I need to do that? I know it's possible. I just don't know how. What's a good mesh to buy? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, my Etsy shop is... Hold on. See if I can get it. No, I don't want... www.etsy.com/shop. Let's see if it'll let me. I think it'll work. Okay. Now will it let me pin it? Probably not. Oh, I can! Look at that. I'm a genius. Okay. Chromecast. Okay, well, how do I do Chromecast? My phone has started asking me if I want to view items on TV, but I can't figure out how to connect it. Yeah, like, how in the world? Downloaded an app on the TV like Netflix. Really? Interesting. Huh. I mean, this is a smart TV. I'm not smart enough, I guess, to figure that part out, but... Okay. 3. Ooh. This is like... Shoot, this is spring ribbon from AC Moore, which is no longer. Right? I thought about putting shells on this one, but I think I'm not going to. Because it's an anchor. I don't know. I could, but... Not value mesh. Some of the stuff I have is value mesh, but, I'm trying to think if I have one that's... You can tell by the labels on them. Okay, 3, 6, 7. I know that all the major places where you can buy mesh, like Deco Exchange and the Wreath shop and Craft Outlet. Craft Outlet's where I got this sign and these 2 beach ribbons here. But I order from all of them. I know, and they all order Craig Bachman supplies, because that's pretty much the only supplier out there. Do you have to Facebook app on TV? Oh, I don't know. This is very glittery. I don't know if I like it. Might be too glittery. Let's try this one. I think this one's better. Where is this one from? This is a Walmart. I'm sure it was super expensive, even though it's 15 feet. Okay. Because Walmart ribbon is so expensive. Okay. I had somebody message me the other day and ask me where in the world do you buy ribbon now, because all the stores are closed. And I was like, I'm confused because I have never really bought ribbon in the store before. I only buy it online. All right, that'll work on there. Okay, let's do this. How are my kids handling the stay-at-home situation? Well, my teenager is bored out of her mind. She's like gonna lose it, I swear. She's been watching, like, binging Netflix like crazy. My toddler is confused and doesn't understand why we keep cleaning, why his school is still having to be cleaned, and why he can't go back. He doesn't really want to go back, but he would like to, like, go to the playground or something, or get out of the house. He hasn't been out in weeks anywhere. I mean, we've been to the grocery store or whatever, but he's, besides a ride in the car, he's not been anywhere in weeks. So yeah, I think he's getting a little stir crazy. All right, just trying to dovetail all these real quick. So they look pretty. No, I didn't make the anchor. The anchor came from Craft Outlet, which I bet they're not the only place that sells it, but that's where I got it. I'm always on the hunt for beach supplies or beach stuff. So is anybody cooking already for Easter? Like, we haven't started yet, but we got a ham, so, like, what? That doesn't take that long, right? You just warm it up. Y'all know I don't cook, though, but I think I could do a ham. They already did most of the hard work for me. Craft Outlet, as far as I know, has been open and closed. They opened and they closed and then they opened back up again for a few orders. I think it's like, depending on how many orders they get, I don't know. I would just check their website. They're kind of off and on. Mary, I wouldn't let you go anywhere either if you were my mom. I keep telling my mom and my parents, like, y'all just stop. You don't need to go anywhere. Michelle, so my daughter's school, like, I guess they're starting an online stuff. They've just been emailing back and forth with their teachers, and I think they're supposed to start soon, but, like, I don't know why their school has been a little slow, and now they have spring break. They're supposed to have spring break next week, so, like, all the administration's not going to be there. Look how pretty those ribbons are. And my son, yeah, they've been actually giving us, like, for Google Classroom. I mean, he's only 4, but they have been. Which ones do I want to do together? Hold on. Yeah. So they have been, like, sending us videos on Google Classroom for his stuff, but his is like, you know, let's draw a flower. So, you know, it ain't mission critical, but I don't want him to, like, lose all that just that what's the word I'm looking for, like the feeling of, like, being in school and, you know, having to do it regularly. I don't want him to get too used to, like, Mickey Mouse, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, now we're going back to school, and then he's gonna scream at me. Alright, that's gonna be cute. Home Alone had tacos. Sad that we can't do Haley's party, Easter party that was planned. Aw, I'm sorry, Georgia. I know that sucks. Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot planned anyway, but still, it just sucks that you can't do a whole lot. I probably should have cut these 13 inches, but you know what? I think we're all right. We're going to be fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. I'm going to do down here while I'm down here. Can't he Zoom with his friends? I don't know. He's 4. He don't really have like friends. But like my daughter can obviously talk with her friends and whatnot, but this is really cute ribbon. I really like this one. It's like starfish and coral and seahorses, and it's cute. Zoom is really not that difficult to set up. Honestly, it's pretty easy. And, you know, there's so many, you could also, you know, well, Zoom would be, I guess, for like multiple people, but, you know, there's so many other apps like FaceTime and Google, what did we have? Google Duo, you know, to do face-to-face video. That's what my husband and I have to do because he doesn't have an iPhone, which I think is crazy, but he doesn't, so. You're having Easter even if it's July. I don't blame you. I really wanted to cook we had a turkey in the freezer from Thanksgiving, and I was like, we should just cook that. Like, why not? What else are we gonna do? We never ate it at Thanksgiving. I hope you guys can still hear me now that I have all this air up here. It's gonna be glorious in the summertime. Because you know how hot it gets, especially when I have the ring light and I'm up here and, well, I'm already like nervous or whatever because I'm on a video and I'm sweating. At least now I have some air. A bowl of cereal and yogurt. Yes, it does, Joni. Listen, I got a ham and all I'm doing is sticking it in the oven, and we got sweet potatoes. That's what we got. I ain't going fancy. It's just the 4 of us. Jesus, this is glitter all over me. If it were up to my husband, we probably would have had tacos too. He don't care about a ham. But I feel like there's no other time of the year that I would ever cook a ham. So I'm gonna cook one today. And you know, the grocery stores are a little sparse for food right now. So, but they did have a ham. Hey, CJ. Once I can have my kids over, I'm cooking a big turkey to celebrate getting back together. That's so cool, Linda. That would be awesome. A ham in the smoker. That's a good idea, Lynette. I haven't tried one like that. I think my neighbors did a turkey in the smoker, but I don't think we've done a ham. Hey, Teeny. Fried rice, shrimp for my son, baked chicken, mac and cheese. I'm coming to your house, girl. That sounds delicious. I feel like Easter is like, it's probably ranks pretty much up there with Thanksgiving as far as the amount of food you could cook, doesn't it? You know? I mean, you could go crazy. Hey, Angie. All right. We're almost done, y'all. We're like halfway around. Halfway around. If you're just tuning in, I was talking at the beginning about how this is like a multiple, like all the beach wreaths in my shop. This is something that I can sell over and over. Maybe not this particular design because some of these ribbons are pretty trendy, but all my beach wreaths my normal beach wreaths that I sell in my shop, I mean, I've sold hundreds of them, hundreds of just with a different sign. They're all the same. We're using the same formula, the same recipe. And they sell over and over because of the way that Etsy really favors things that are popular, things that are selling. I've been able to do really well just with I mean, it's the same one. Like, I'm not reinventing the wheel every single time. Once I get something going, I can create it in 30 minutes. Especially if I have an assembly line and I've got a couple of them. I've got 4 or 5 beach ones down there right now that are the exact same. And I just made all the bases at one time, and then cut all the ribbons at one time, and then, I assembled them all in stages. Because when you're doing things one at a time, obviously picking up one roll, cutting it, putting it down, picking up the next roll, cutting it, putting it down, all that stuff takes a lot of time, a lot of touch time. Every time you have to pick something up and put it down. So if you can, sort of batch it and do it in all together, you'll save a lot of time, which only translates into profit when you're, handmade, doing it on your own. And selling one of a kind on Etsy is the hardest thing to do. The hardest way to go about selling. So make it easy on yourself and have at least a couple items that can sell over and over for you. I promise you, you will thank me later. Yes, the Easter Bunny visited Jackson. Big time. The boy got lots of candy and little toys, little cars. Because did you know cars can fit in some of the eggs? Figured that out. Okay. So this is going to blend in a little bit. We're going to put some of this netting. This is also really great for beach wreaths. It looks like, that netting, fish netting or whatever. So I use this a lot. So let's, I made all this food because this is the way we always did it, and used to, we forget, or it brings us pleasure. There's only me due to virus. Aww. Socially distant eating. That's funny. No, I don't sell much, but I probably should, given all that's behind me. And I don't think you can, you can see all that to the side of me too. Yeah. So yeah, that's quite a bit. I have some ribbon in my shop, some beach ribbon, but I don't have any mesh. I just started my Etsy shop in January, and I've sold 6 bee wreaths since February. That is awesome, Judy. And you know why? I was listening to a podcast recently that bee searches for bee and like the bee theme of whatever on Etsy have gone up like 40% at least over last year. I could be wrong about the number, but it's like a huge number. It's like way higher than last year. So it's just a trend that is doing really well this year. Last year it was kind of but this year, yeah. So if you got some bee stuff, I would be selling it for sure. All right, I'm gonna see what this looks like. And your proof that it is true, if you've sold 6 of them, that's awesome. All right, I just did a little 2-loop bow with this netting. I'm going to see how this works. Because I'm going to try and break up this. See how this works. I don't want to cover up the ribbon too much. We'll see how this works. But I need to break it up a little bit, or else you're not going to be able to see the sign. Let's see. I think I'm gonna stand up for this. I wonder. I might do it like this. Alright, so far. But I want to put some of this. I don't know how much of this I have. We have this color. I don't know if I want that off-white. Oh, there we go. I want this one. We have a little bit of tubing around here. Okay. Because it looks like roping, so. Kaylee says, I sold out of those bee grapevines super quick. Was sad I couldn't get any more in stock. Yeah, like that's the thing. It is a popular trend this year. Okay, so all I did with this is I do 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. I don't measure it. I just make it look sort of whatever. And then I'm just putting that in the tie. I measure most things except for my tubing. That I don't measure. Everything else I measure. Pretty much. I don't measure my poofs, I guess, on my base, but no bee wreaths yet, Linda? Well, you know what? If you catch in on the trend, you could. I bet you it's coming. All right. So I think that is, you know what I'm going to do? I do have, hold on. If this is the right color. I have these monkeys, whatever they're called. I have white and I have that. Alright, let's see. Should I do a white one? No. I should do blue. Should I do blue or should I do... See these? I'm trying to decide if I should do white, but it's an off-white. Or blue. Maybe the white. Maybe there's too much blue already. Okay, let's see. I might do these two. Do I pay for ads? I pay for just a little bit on Etsy. But not a ton. Let's see. I do pay for, you know, it's hard to say, like, as far as like, I need to glue this one in. I do pay a few dollars a day on Etsy for ads, and then the offsite ads has been getting me some traffic, and I just do a lot on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest as far as brand awareness, and that usually brings more people to my shop than running ads to cold audiences. I much more prefer to like do lives and be on my page and active regularly and form relationships with people. And like, I know, at least half the names that come across my screen, and I prefer to do it that way, and then sell in my shop rather than running straight ads. So I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I do run some ads. Yeah, it depends on how you do it. Yes, I mail everything. I don't sell anything locally, only because it just works out that way. Most of my customers are online, so. Um, I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up so I can glue these things down. Hang on. Where do I buy my materials from? So a lot of different places. Craft Outlet, the Wreath Shop, Deco Exchange, Waterman's Loft, Craig Bachman, Michael's, At Home. I mean, a gajillion places. I'm working on Amazon Handmade, Michelle, but it was just um, too many things going on right now that I haven't really paid much attention to working on it yet. Okay, let's see. This is glue gun. Let's go warm up so I can put these. I know they have things I can tie them in, but I don't know that that's gonna work as well because they're gonna flop around. I can maybe zip tie one. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll zip tie it and then I'll glue it. And zip tie it to the frame. And I haven't done the sign yet, only because I probably, oh shoot, I did that backwards. Gonna have to epoxy it. Oh, the glue gun holder. I'll post a link for it. It's Susie's Wreaths and Things on Etsy. It is a genius glue gun holder. It's like the best thing ever. I'm so happy she created them. She also sells like mesh holders and things like that. All right, hold on. I'm trying to pop this in here. This one's really pretty colors. I like this aqua and blue. Okay. All right, so at least that part's attached, but I'm going to glue the heck out of it right here, so that it doesn't move. Hey, Kali. Had to do a beach one today. I don't know why. I was going to do a floral something, and then I found this sign. So let's glue the heck out of this thing. All right. Hey, Wilhelmine. I'm going to epoxy. No, I'm going to epoxy. Well, I could probably. This is thick enough that I could probably put a staple gun through it, but my staple gun is not working right now. So I usually end up just, I'm gonna get this sticker off later, epoxy hangers to the back of this so that I can attach the sign. I could epoxy over the top. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because just in case it fades, but no, I'm using epoxy like for glue. But I could probably get away with using the hangers that are on this thing to attach it, or using the rope that's already on it. But usually I think it would be better if I just put some hangers here and here and put it on. So essentially, that's what you were getting. Isn't that cute? Let's see if I can zoom. There we go. Cute, cute. So again, yeah, this is very, very similar recipe to all the beach wreaths that I have. And because I know in my head how to make it quick and be done with it. And, you know, I don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. I made a few small changes to this one. I did this a little bit different. I put little monkey fist things on there. You know, it's a different sign. It's a little bit extra ribbon, you know. So you change it a little bit. But otherwise, I would be up here, like, stuck trying to figure out how am I going to make something. I'm going to go with what works and what I know has sold really well already. And, you know, it's a really good place to start for sure. Because I'd rather have a sure thing than, you know, like, we'll just try and see if this sells. I'm going to go with the one that's already sold. These rope balls, I think they were from... I think they were from AC Moore long time ago. I don't know where I got... I think I didn't buy them. I think I got them in somebody's, like, D-stash somewhere. I think this will work. Yeah. Alright, that'll work. The sign came from Craft Outlet. Etsy question. I had a student who had a sale on Etsy, but then it went away. That's weird. I haven't seen one go away. Like, I've seen it when it's, like, pending, you know, where if their card doesn't go through. Are you sure it wasn't pending and then it went away? Like, if it went through, it shouldn't go away. But a lot of times, you know, those pending ones sometimes disappear. That's weird. Thanks, Wilhelmine. Alright, y'all. I guess I am done for today. Thanks for joining me on your Easter Sunday. I hope you guys have a really good day and eat some yummy food. And I'm sorry that we all have to be apart from each other, but I'm glad you all joined me here. And yeah, I will see you guys again soon. Bye.